Welcome back to New Dexter. Who dis?
Who dis?
About to watch the Original Sin Miami Vice episode 3.
Season 1, Episode 3, New Dexter, Original Sin, Miami Vice. I'm ready to take a stab at this one. How about you?
God. Yep, let's do it.
Oh, what?
Okay. Alright, we don't need any more Mr. Scatman.
Okay, I'm a Scatman.
I'm gonna pause for a second. Recording?
Yeah.
I like that Harry found the earrings and immediately recognized, Dex, this is a trophy. What are you doing? This is insane. And that, Dexter's he's not really even thinking of it that much. But, I mean, yeah, he's agreeing it's a trophy, but... Oh.
Yeah, but I think that's the whole point with Harry is he's meant to know those things before Dexter does, right? Like his whole teaching Dexter the code is predicated on the fact that he knows all, right? He knows what it all becomes and what it all looks like on the other side. How do you protect yourself? He knows because he's a cop, which means that he also should know that serial killers take trophies and that's the way that they get caught. He should have been teaching Dexter about what happens then, because that's clearly a drive. It's clearly part of the whole thing. There's almost no serial killer in history that hasn't had some form of trophies. So why hasn't he started talking about that and mitigating that? So it is interesting that they show him being a little blindsided by it. I do like that dynamic. But yeah, I was hoping for, I'm sure we're going to get there. I was hoping a little bit more of a conversation with them about trophies, we're going to get to the point where Dexter figures out that the blood slides is his ticket, Yeah. Which is also kind of crazy, too, because when you think about trophies and stuff, the idea of, most of them having to try to get linked, right? So there's ones where they'll steal the earrings, right? And then they're taking pictures of the earrings and going to the victims' families and being like, does this look familiar?
Right. Yeah.
Dexter uses a literal drop of blood with their name attached to it. There couldn't be any...
There's no wiggle room there. It's just definite. Nope. It's a definite trophy.
This is as literal and as specific of data as you can get. This is the little DNA of this literal victim of mine. And here's their name.
But also it's gonna change as to his killing ritual, right? Because right now, his first victim, he placed his hand on the heart, right? He felt it, and that was his connection, and then he did the act, right?
Yeah.
Next, I'm sure we'll get to the point where he's actually doing the slice, and he's making the trophy before he kills him. So I mean, that's kind of interesting too.
Yeah. No, that's
we're getting there.
Yeah, I like it. I can't wait for that part.
But yeah, also just want to add that Christina Milian is just killing it as Detective LaGuardia.
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. I've been a fan of hers for a long time. When I heard she was going to be part of the project, I was initially like, oh, that's cool. I wonder what she'll do. And then they said she's going to play LaGuardia. I was like, oh, shit, that might be perfect.
Yeah. And just like all the other actors in this project, she's got the just facial mannerisms. She's got the expressions nailed down.
Yeah.
I just love watching all the characters really, do callbacks to all the original Dexter characters.
Yeah, and Christina doesn't have as thick an accent as she's laying on here, so she's doing that because of the original actress who laid on the New York,
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's really funny,
Yeah, that was weird.
Right, I thought.
And maybe that was his plan, was just to get confirmation that he was
a killer.
A killer.
Huh. Unless he's gonna use the bullet or use that for something.
Oh, he definitely wants the bullet.
What did I just say? That's funny.
Oh, he's gonna match it to the
Confirm
bullet.
it. Yep.
Well, same gun or not, right? The idea that it's the same gun is a bit silly, but. Oh, look at another episode just dropped. So
seriously?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake!
So
all right, wait. We gotta talk about this. What is your problem?
No, it's your show. We just finished watching episode 3, Miami Vice, of Dexter Original Sin. What do you think what they're doing? This was also your introduction to La Guardia.
So we see Dex make his second kill, right? And he's kind of trying to undo some of the mistakes that he made, such as keeping the trophy, right, of the earrings, because he does get rid of that at the end, but he still doesn't have the kill perfected, right? Like he's making a mess of this second kill. Almost worse than the first one, honestly. And so he's really trying to figure out how to go about this, right? And Harry is still trying to figure out how he copes with just, is this something he has to train Dex on to not keep the trophies and to not feel anything for, in place of the trophies? Or, does he have to fine tune this code? Like, he's trying to figure this out because he knows this is not right.
Yeah.
But just making it right for Dexter, where Dexter is full steam ahead. Like he is going. I think this is just really just him catapulting himself into what he really is gonna need to fulfill this desire.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, it was the obvious route to take as far as storytelling goes. Is Dexter's not good at this? He's never done it before, right? Where when we first watched Dexter, the first go around, he's a master of it, and everything he does is so perfect, and everything you watch him do, you go, of course he would think of that, of course he would, he's an absolute master. So I really like watching this, and almost everything he's doing, we're going like, oh no, that's going to leave this kind of evidence. Yeah. Oh, why would he make that kind of a mess? Oh, now he's got it all over this. And like,
yeah,
a lot of that I know is intentional because we're watching Dexter go from being a messy killer to a master of his domain,
And really, even the fact that Deb is asking him to, supply her with some Coke for her friends, he doesn't even have like the, finesse to try and steal it, to even attempt to try to steal it from the police precinct. Instead he's like, well, let me just create it for you.
Yeah, let me just make you something that's close enough.
Like he's better at that, figuring that science out rather than just trying to schmooze his way through the precinct. I thought was kind of funny as well because, first series of Dexter, we see he can do anything in the precinct.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool just to see him develop in that way.
Yeah.
And also Sarah Michelle Gellar just kind of guiding Dexter as to how to even use, the tools that he has in the precinct to distinguish, the bullets. Like, that's kind of interesting as well. Where, she's just saying, hey, ask if you need something, but he's trying to figure it all out himself and how that's not actually the best route.
What's the point of Sarah Michelle Gellar's character? What's the slot that she's filling?
I think she's a mentor on the science field, right? On the how to catch the killer, the tools that he's going to need to use in the future so that he himself does not get caught. Because she's looking at it completely from the science aspect of it, of the forensics. He needs to know how she thinks And he doesn't know what he doesn't know yet, right? He is still an intern. He is still new. Yes, he was pre-med. That does not mean he knows how to get away with crime. And clearly, I mean, in his second kill, he's like touching the doors, like he doesn't have gloves on. Doesn't have like a mask. He's letting blood splatter everywhere. So like we're really seeing the just like how new he is to everything and to just crime in general.
Yeah.
So I do think that's her role. Her role is going to be.
Well, I guess I'm wondering, like, when you think about the original series and whatnot, we know who each of these characters are and who they're representing, right? Because a lot of them are representing who they were before they are who they are, right? Mm-hmm. But like Patrick Dempsey, that's the position that LaGuardia takes on. You know what I mean? Who takes on the role that Sarah Michelle Gellar is? Like what? Like who's the science person?
I'm forgetting his name. The older man that Deb dated, the much older man that Deb dated that Trinity killed. What's his name? I'm like blanking on it.
And he worked in the precinct?
Yes. He became what Dexter thought was his nemesis, but in a good way. And he was actually sad that he got killed by Trinity because he thought, oh, if I ever had a rival, this would be him. And he pinpointed Dexter's everything. He said, oh, this killer, he's got OCD and he's got, like, he nailed Dexter down where to Dexter was like, oh shit, I am called out.
Yeah.
Like he thought he had one over on him, and every time this guy like fucking just pinpointed, he really understood the psychology. Oh, that's gonna bug me. I know his name. Sorry, let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, look it up. We'll just say the name.
Okay. Special Agent Lundy.
Lundy. Oh, Lundy. Oh,
right. Okay.
It was Lundy.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so backtrack.
Yes. Go ahead.
So I do think that Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, she is a mentor, and the only person I can think of that she could be similar to in a sense is Special Agent Lundy, who, if you recall in original Dexter, that was Dexter's like rival in a sense, in that he was just so smart. He was so sharp when it came to forensics. He understood the psychology, and he always like called out Dexter without intentionally trying to call Dexter out.
Wasn't he brought in though?
Yes, he was brought in. So
he didn't actually work for the department.
He came back, right? Yeah. So it's different in that Sarah Michelle Gellar is a mentor. Like she's actually showing Dexter how to use tools, how to really work forensics. But that's like kind of the closest thing I can think of, because when we see Dexter in, the first iteration, like he's already, like he has no mentor because he's already all knowing, right? Yeah. Like he doesn't need to be taught anything.
I guess we'll just see how the character plays through, because I like Sarah Michelle Gellar in this role. Mm-hmm. I just, from an honest storytelling mechanism, I don't see what she's bringing to the show. Like, she's in a regard, she's sort of being a mentor to Dexter, but do we need a character to be a mentor to Dexter in that regard? Does it matter?
I could see her being the person that figures out, who these bodies are in Alligator Alley and how it was done, and leading up to figuring out who Dexter is. Sure. Like I could definitely see her being that person that unfortunately he has to get rid of.
Sure, I could see, but she isn't there yet. That's all I'm saying, is
not yet.
Because this character is playing such kind of a loose, vague role, mm-hmm. I'm leery of it.
Okay. I can see that.
And not in a bad way. I'm just watching it. What is she bringing to the table? Because there's nothing that this team does is for no reason ever. So I'm watching her because she doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for her. We don't need her. And I'm like, what is that?
I know.
Something's going to happen. I'm going to be like, that's the whole thing.
And I think that's the reason that, we're kind of being nudged to trust her, that she's a trusting character, right? She's on Dexter's side, but, Dexter switches sides. He's not innocent, right? Yeah. Like, we know that. And so it's going to be interesting to see, like, how they butt heads eventually. Yeah. Because I can't see them not butting heads at some point. So, yeah. But this is an interesting episode. I'm interested to see like where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. And as we're recording this, the newest episode just dropped, which means we know when the episodes will be dropping now, which means we should be on track of being on time eventually.
Yeah. We can get these all out by the end of the year.
Yep.
As a little holiday gift.
Yeah.
And see what y'all think. But yeah, I'm liking just seeing the nuggets, right? Just we're seeing Dexter's mom, have these meetings with these bad folks, and then they're taking her towards the docks, towards the containers, and we know what that means. And so, both of us kind of looked at each other like, oh no, this is it. This is when she's gonna get.
Yeah.
She's gonna get murdered, but we haven't reached that point yet. But it's cool to see just how it leads to this. All right, let's get into the next one.
Let's get into the next one. You got to end this one. You got to even say thanks for coming through and killing it with us.
Thanks for tuning in,
fellow slicers. Yeah.
Oh God.
It'll stick. It'll stick.
It won't.